tidal intrusion structures, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for your response, Mr. Secretary. Next to ask the question would be Congresswoman Ko.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask, so maraming reclamation activities nangyayari sa Metro Manila. Does it have a big effect sa flooding?
Well, ang kwan po namin dito is a technical issue actually. I think there has been some assessments made by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources on the effects doon sa Manila Bay. No? But technically, when we are able to discharge the flood waters na hindi naman directly doon sa reclamation areas, I think Manila Bay can absorb actually the excess waters naman. The only problem there is actually the siltation issue. The siltation issue at the mouth of the rivers actually. So this has to be maintained very well actually, Your Honor. But the impact on the reclamation areas will not, I don't think there is be very major for me technically, there would be major influence to the internal flooding problems in Metro Manila.
Congresswoman Pancho, you may proceed.
Mr. Chair, I agree with Honorable Erice and Congresswoman Agata na one of the factors ay yung basura po natin and we have to have a master plan. Now, Mr. Chair, with the master plan, I think the LGUs should have the political will. I say political will to follow the master plan. What I mean, sir, is pag humingi ng business permit, dapat, bago mo i-issue business permit, they should present the flood control plan. Ang nangyayari po kasi, kanya-kanyang pataasan ng tambak, yung mga business establishments, and then magre-reklamo sila na iwanan yung drainage canal, magre-reklamo sila na iwanan yung kalsada. Pero hindi nila nakita ang taas po nila. So siguro, yung ating pang LGUs should have the political will, require them to follow the master plan. Para wala po tayong maging sisiyanan na iwanan ng kalsada at bakit may tubig ang kalsada. Sobra pong tinaas eh. And one thing, Mr. Chair, nabanggit na po ng ating chair yung Bulacan. Before po kasi, hindi po nararanasan ng Bulacan ang ganito pong pagbaha. Kung manunod po kayo sa YouTube po ngayon, makikita niyo po, although hindi ko po siya district, nasa 2nd district po ako at maayos naman po, minimal ang naging baha po. Ika nga po ay manageable, of course, with the help of the DPWH din. Pero kung i-consider nyo po yung iba, yung sa Hagunoy, Bulacan, Kalumpit, ay maririnig nyo po sa interview ng YouTube na buhat po ng ginawa. Nag-start ang Bulacan Airport. Naranasan po nila yung ganitong pagbaha. So, bigyan nyo lang po kami ng klaro lang po na paliwanag. Para naman po, yung pag-iisip ng mga Bulakenyo, hindi po nila maisisi sa Bulacan Airport kung hindi po ba nakatulong o nakadagdag sa baha po ito pong Bulacan Airport. Kasi kung hindi, may problema po talaga tayo. Pero kung nakadagdag po sila, sana mapag-aralan po natin up to what extent ang naidagdag po nilang tubig doon sa nararanasan pong pagbaha po ngayon sa Bulacan. I have nothing against the Bulacan Airport. In favor po tayo sa progress, additional income, additional revenue, additional employment on the part of the province of Bulacan. Pero alagaan din po natin yung life and property ng mga Bulakenyo po. Kung meron po siya naging bahagi lang po doon po sa baha na nararanasan po ngayon sa Bulacan. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
You may respond, Mr. Secretary, please.
Well, I think this is a very technical issue, Your Honor, and it would need actually a comprehensive study on the implications of the proposed airport in Bulacan, no, in terms of the impact of flooding, actually. Now, what I can say, actually, in those areas, in Hagunoy, Kalumpit, and everything, At one point in time, Your Honor, when I was still in the department long time ago, there was already a master plan, a big project that was supposed to be implemented in that area under the Pampanga Delta Flood Control Program. Upper Pampanga was completed. However, the lower Pampanga area, which is supposed to take care of the flooding problems in Hagonoy, Kalumpit, and all the other provinces, unfortunately, this was rejected by the local governments. So, the funding was there, actually, and it was ready to be implemented, actually, to the dismay of the Japanese government at that time. Unfortunately, it did not materialize. And so now, we are faced with this issue to address it again. Actually, the flooding problems in those areas, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Pancho. Next to ask is Congressman Garcia, House Appropriations Committee Senior Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon po sa ating colleagues at kay Secretary at sa buong DPWH family. Magandang hapon po. Nakikinig po ako ng mabuti sa mga suggestions ng ating mga kasama dito sa hearing na ito. And we see bits and pieces of the problem. From the drainage system na dapat efficient, yung carrying capacity ng drainage, yung mga suggested water catchment and water impounding facilities, yung basura na a big part of the problem, yung silted rivers. Nakita natin noong isang araw si Presidente mismo bumaba sa Pasig at together with MMDA and the LGU dinidisilt po yung Pasig River. Ito po yung mga nabanggit na problema kanina which adds up dun sa problema natin ng flooding. Pero aside from that, I would like to add na kapag na-solve po lahat ng problemang itong nabanggit, may dalawang malaking problema pa po tayong haharapin. Number one, ito po yung adequate final destination ng tubig na bababa mula sa bundok dun sa mga catch basin na malalaki. So, kahit maayos natin yung basura, yung drainage, yung mga impounding catchment facilities, saan pupunta yung tubig? So, yung mga, of course, sa low-lying area, the water seeks its own level, no? So, sa low-lying area, pero kung walang adequate catchment basin, baka pa rin yung mangyayari. So, yun po yung una. And pangalawa, pag pumasok na yung high tide, as you mentioned just now, itutulak po yan lahat pabalik. Kaya, magbabaha pa rin sa Metro Manila, sa Region 3, aabot hanggang sa NLEX, dahil itutulak ng Manila Bay pababa. So, aside from all those things, itong dalawang malaking problema na ito, kailangan makita natin in a macro perspective o big picture perspective. Tapos pumasok na po yung sinuggest ng aking Brad, si Kong Bong, yung master plan. So in line with that, I presented to you, Secretary, at sa ating mga USEC several times. Budget hearing last time, tapos sa office ng ating liderato dito sa House, kasi nga naghahanap tayo ng solusyon. If you remember, I presented the Manila Bay Integrated Coastal Defense. Na dito po, masosolve, among other things, yung nabanggit ng aking mga kasamahan, yung dalawang malaking problema, yung adequate final destination ng tubig, na kailangan trillions of cubic meters po yan siguro, at ma-prevent yung Manila Bay from coming in kapag may high tide. So if you remember that, I even highlighted all the river systems from Region 3 at Metro Manila. Kasi ito po yung nasa throat of Manila Bay. So from parts of Bataan, parts of Pampanga, parts of Bulacan, kasama doon yung Valenzuela and Malabon, and of course yung Metro Manila coming from the mountains of Rizal. So dun lahat yan babagsak dun sa throat of Manila Bay, and dahil hindi adequate yung catchment basin, babaha yung area na yon, kaya sinasabi ng ating mga kasamaan from Region 3 and Metro Manila. Tapos, to make it worse, papasok pa po yung high tide ng Manila Bay. So, yun po yung pinopropose ko na sana mapondohan yung feasibility study or master plan of that. Kasi yan na po yung sinasabi ni Kong Bong na pwedeng maging comprehensive master plan because it will encapsulate all the problems that were mentioned today, from the trash, to the drainage, to the silted rivers, to the catch basin and the prevention of Manila Bay from coming in. So, gusto ko lang po sana i-follow up, Secretary, kung ano na po yung status nitong na-present natin several times sa Public Works, because it is a possible solution to the big problem.
Please proceed, Secretary.
Your Honor, yes, we are aware of that, and actually we have the as has been furnished to us by the good congressman. I think this is a big mega project that we're talking about, yung kwan dito sa Manila Bay. And we had been coordinating with NEDA because I think at the end of the day, I think this kind of a project will have to be other official development assistance financed, because I think this cannot be carried out by local financing program or at least public-private partnership program. So these are the areas that we are exploring with National Economic DepEd, Your Honor. We'll follow it up with them actually, because we agree completely with the concept that it will really mitigate actually flooding problems in the surrounding areas from Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, and Metro Manila. Yes, Your Honor.
Follow-up question, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for your response. And just like the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge, we were proposing it before, at nung inapprovan ng NEDA and DPWH, and you have an existing partnership with our institutional funding partners like ADB, Asian Development Bank. Kapag napondohan yung feasibility study, just like the bridge, at lumabas na ang laki ng economic internal rate of return, just like yung Bataan Cavite has the highest among all Build Better More projects, that is compelling reason enough to proceed sa detailed engineering design, because ang laki ng matutulong sa ekonomiya. So dito rin, kapag napondohan yung feasibility study o yung master plan at makita na hindi na lang concept, pero the data and the numbers will show na ang laki ng magiging benepisyo nito sa buhay, kabuhayan at ekonomiya ng ating bansa, ay this will be compelling reason enough para i-pursue yung next stages. So in short, yung feasibility study is the precursor dun sa malalaking project, lalo na kung ang taas ng economic internal rate of return. So ito, grabe yung baha, talagang apektado yung pang-araw-araw na buhay ng ating mamamayan, yung ating ekonomiya. So I would assume malaki rin ang economic internal rate of return nito, probably even bigger than the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge. Pero kailangan masimulan natin, ma-initiate natin yung funding ng feasibility study, pero dahil doon natin makikita kung go or no go, kung mataas yung balik o hindi. So sana po, sa lalong madaling panahon, ay magawa po natin yan para yung sinasabing feasibility study na talagang big picture analysis, dahil grabe ho yung problema eh. So kailangan grabe din ho yung solusyon. We've come to that point na sinasabi ng ating Pangulo, talagang grabe yung climate change, new normal. So drastic din po dapat yung solusyon, and ito po yung pinakita namin sa concept, and hopefully mapondohan yung feasibility study or yung master plan para makita natin kung ito ba'y talagang makasolve together